Right. Well, this is chapter half of what fucked me up. No, I'm just kidding. Chapter my mother, Ana Julia Rubio Peralta. They have a lot of names.
Mm-hmm.
You still nervous?
A little bit.
Okay. Why are you nervous?
I don't know what you're going to ask me. I don't know what we're going to talk about.
I guess that's true. I didn't tell you, but that's because I can't. I don't have a set. I don't have a set like question list that I ask.
Okay.
Because then I feel like it's not organic conversation.
Oh, okay.
Or I just feel like then it's not a conversation. Then it's just a interview, which I guess it is an interview, but I want it to be a genuine. I don't know.
Oh,
Anyway.
conversation.
Yeah.
All right.
Either way. All right. So I know about you, obviously. This is my mother. Part of the reason why I am the way I am, good and bad. So a little bit about yourself, so people they know. Where are you from? Born and raised?
I was actually born in Mexico, but I was raised in Mendota, farming community,
Right.
west of Fresno.
Yes.
But I am the sixth child. My parents had 7 children. I'm the sixth one.
6 out of 7.
6 out of 7. And I was a baby for 10 years. And then we had a baby sister. So I have a baby sister that I love very much.
Right.
But yeah. And I grew up in the projects of Mendota.
Yes.
Tough neighborhood. But yeah. It was good. It was good for me.
Yeah, no, yeah. I would say that's one thing that you always tell me is you would always, you always tell me the stories of the projects, I'm sure just to warn me, whatever. But I never saw it as like anything that would happen to me. Like I was like, I get these things happen. I just never saw that it would be like, yeah, that's not gonna be me.
Yeah, I didn't want it to be you.
It's not gonna be me. But anyway, because you have a lot of stories.
Yeah, the things that I saw there, like you say, you go through life and you learn, like, there's good and bad. Wherever you go, you're always you have things to learn, good and bad, what to do and what not to do.
Right.
And it informs you, and it changes you. And some of the things that I saw that you go through sometimes scare you. Sometimes they help you, sometimes they scare you, and then you portray those fears when you're raising your kids, and I know I did that with you. I know that.
A little bit.
So things that I saw on the projects growing up, I'm like, oh no, I don't want that for my child.
How old were you when you went to Mendota? Do you remember?
Well, we lived there because my parents lived there. The only reason I was born in Mexico is because we already lived there for a long time. I don't remember, but we lived there.
Right.
But my mom went to Mexico she was pregnant and she left instead of, it was the other way around. People always come to Mexico to have
have a baby.
My mom did the opposite. She left to Mexico to have me in Mexico and then come back. So she actually brought me across the border when I was a few days old.
Oh wow!
And
a lot easier back then.
Oh yeah, they didn't even. I don't think they even asked. You could have. How sad, huh? Back then, you could have just stolen a baby and brought it across the border. But
I get you.
Basically, that's what they did. They didn't ask for documentation, nothing. They're just like, okay, that's your baby, no birth certificate, nothing.
Huh.
So, I got a birth certificate in Mexico, so if there's, I'm registered there as being born there. But what I'm saying is that I just crossed the border with no problem. So yeah, I've been here.
And then you got your citizenship, though.
Yeah, when I was 18. So I was raised in Mendota. When I was 18, I got my citizenship as soon as I could because my parents said, "Well, you need to get
you need it to stay here."
Yes.
All right. And her mom, my grandma's actually inside right now. So it's crazy. Generations are in this house.
Mm-hmm.
But What was I gonna say? So you started in Mendota. They went back, had you in Mexico, came back. Growing up in Mexico, I mean in Mendota. Then what happened in Mendota? Grew up in the projects. So let's say around high school, because I mean there's only like one school, right, for each one. One elementary school, one middle school.
Yeah, well, they have like a elementary. They had an elementary that was like K second, and then you went to McCabe, which was 3rd through 8th.
Really?
Mhm.
That's weird.
I know. And then in Mendota at that time, they didn't even have a high school. We had to go bus to Tranquility.
Right.
So we were bused about, maybe, I don't know how far it was, maybe 20-minute drive from Mendota to Tranquility.
Oh wow.
So every morning we were bused to Tranquility.
Every 20 minutes. I mean every morning 20 minutes.
Every morning, 20 minutes back. If we wanted to be in sports, yeah, which we were.
What sports did you do?
I just did volleyball.
That's it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought you did more.
I tried basketball in junior high, but I didn't like it. I think I tried softball too, but I loved volleyball.
I don't think you'd be good at softball.
Well, why not?
You're too tall. Your hitbox is too big. Probably don't. You got the swing this way, but you don't got the swing this way.
Yeah.
One arm is different than two. Just I don't know. It's
well,
weird. It's
yeah,
different.
well, yeah, I wasn't that great,
That
but yeah, I
happens.
didn't enjoy it. Volleyball is the sport that I enjoyed the most, and I loved it. It's really
How far did you go with volleyball?
No, I did high school. I did high school varsity
You can go to college
team.
volleyball.
No, I didn't.
Oh.
No, but I always joined the teams.
What do you mean?
Like the intramural teams. I always had. You
The
wanna join?
co-ed teams.
Yeah, the co-ed team. I did those. Even after I had you, I joined a co-ed team.
Really?
Of volleyball, yeah.
That's probably why I love volleyball so much.
You like it?
I love all sports.
Oh.
Any sport, because it's. I mean, the way I think about it, like literally any sport, someone invented it and came up with it, and that's what we have.
Yeah.
Freaking curling. I even like curling. You know what curling is?
Isn't it like with a ball?
It's ice. It's not.
Ice.
It's on ice.
So
So curling is they have these blocks of ice with handles on them,
Mm-hmm.
and you slide them across, and you try to. It's kind of like horseshoes with ice. It's
Mhm.
weird, but it's just like, and then like horseshoes. I don't know. It's just everything is people just make up stuff.
Yeah.
So it's funny to see things.
Yeah. Well, volleyball was my sport. I loved it, and
So you just did the co-eds in
yeah,
college. But you went to college.
but we grew up doing sports all the time because I have 4 brothers that are older than I am.
4 brothers and 3 sisters. Well,
and 2 sisters.
2 sisters. So it was
One
four boys, 2 and 3 girls.
Yes. And my brothers were like always. I mean, we lived in the projects and we used to play. We called it over the fence. So over the fence, there was dirt field, and everybody would go there and play baseball all the time. But I think it was baseball.
Right.
No softball. It was always baseball because you had to be tough.
Because they didn't throw underhand.
They did not, and they try to hit you too.
Right.
It was rough. It was rough playing, but at the same time that it was so rough growing up there. Everybody was so tough. But at the same time, I was protected because I was a baby. So at the same time, as everything
You
around
had your
me,
brothers.
yeah, my brothers, my sister, everybody protected me, and they kind of babied me in a way. So even then, playing baseball, I was always like, "Oh, to Anna, you gotta throw softly." So they kind of did protect me. So I didn't grow up. I didn't grow up to be that tough because I think I was probably just protected by my brothers and sisters.
I was gonna say then. So how was it when my tia Rosie, her younger sister, came along? The baby.
Well, by that time, we were all grown, and because I was 10, and
Right. 10-year difference. So before that, I think each one was only like a 2-year difference, 3-year difference, right?
2 years.
2
We're all
years
apart.
for 6 kids, and then a 10-year difference for the last one.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and then she came. She was even more protected. Rosie is
Right.
a girl, and she didn't struggle at all.
right.
But even protected, they still taught us we always just helped the family. Like we always stick together. Family was important.
Right.
So even that protecting Anna, taking care of Anna, or in each other. We always used to take care of each other. But even then, you know, we grew up in the project, but we always worked. My parents were very hardworking.
Do you remember your first job?
My first job was in the fields. I think I was just
Here in Mendota?
in Mendota. Mendota, I was working in the fields, and I think at 12 years old. Back then,
Oh,
they
wow.
didn't have laws that didn't.
Right, no labor laws.
No labor laws. So at 12, I was out there working in the fields.
Was it like,
In the summer.
I was going to say, obviously it wasn't during school, but was it like, well, actually, you would go when they would go, right?
Yeah, we would get up early.
Holy moly.
My mom would make
How many
lunch
hours
for
would you work?
everybody. Yeah, that's 8 hours.
Oh, okay.
It was 8 hours only. Yeah. It wasn't like, and yeah, so that's what we did. We would
But
work in the fields
you didn't
in
get
the
paid
summer.
by hour, though, right?
Yeah, we got paid by the hour.
Oh, I thought you got paid by what you made, what you paid.
No.
Oh.
We got paid by the hour.
Oh.
Because it was more like you would go out there and take the weeds out of in the fields. There's, tomatoes. If they're tomato plants, you have to just make sure that the weeds are not growing around it. Pull weeds, make sure that the tomatoes have enough space to grow healthy.
Right.
So basically, that's what it was.
Did you only do tomatoes?
Cotton. Also, we used to take care of the cotton plant. Not picking cotton, but just picking.
Just the weeds around it?
Just the weeds around it when it was growing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And then when I got a little older, I think I was maybe not a little older. I think I was 13 or 14.
That's a little bit older, I
older.
guess.
I worked in the tomato machines, and those were a lot of hours. That was a job from, I think we used to work like from 14, 15, 16 hours sometimes a day in the tomato machines.
That's too much, even for now.
Yes.
So
and for a 14, 15-year-old, yeah, it is a lot.
Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
And your parents would drive you there, huh?
Yeah.
Carpool.
It was carpool.
They would be there too, right?
Yeah. Well, my dad didn't work my mom wasn't working at that time. It was just my sister and I and cousins. Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, my mom did work there too. Yeah. Yeah, we were all carpool.
I'm surprised that your brothers worked there not much, right?
They worked in the fields too.
Oh, okay. They didn't now they don't seem like ones to have worked in the fields.
They did. They all worked. My dad taught. That's what we did. We worked in the fields. Mm-hmm.
So then 14, 15, you're in the fields. After that, what? Let's say into high school. Or, like 17, 18.
17, 18. Well, when I was in a junior, that's when I started dating your dad.
Junior?
I was a junior.
The reason I'm alive.
Yes. Yeah, I was a junior. Senior.
The reason you have to be here listening to this.
It was my junior year that I met your dad. I continued to high school. I loved school. I like getting good grades.
You actually did good? Oh.
Yeah, I did good. I got A's. I was actually the valedictorian, and I forgot to tell you, I was valedictorian not in high school, in junior high.
Oh, okay.
In junior high.
That's a little less impressive, but yeah, that's still good. still good.
But in high school, I still like to get good grades.
Right.
But and you know what brought my GPA down in high school? I guess I just didn't care to be the valedictorian anymore. But I guess I could have. But what brought my grade down was we would go to Mexico every winter.
Oh yeah, blame your Mexico.
No, I'm serious. And then PE, I loved PE. It was one of my favorites because I love sports. Any sport. I mean, I didn't compete, but I loved to run. I loved to lift weights, all of that. But in the winter, we would leave to Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
And for PE, we couldn't make up that grade. So PE, I always got a bad grade. They didn't let me make up that grade. They didn't say, "Oh, she's excused." They didn't excuse us. It was like, "Oh, you have
you
something."
weren't there.
I know, but I feel like they could have said, "Anna, run for. Can you jog and log it in and bring it to me?"
How can they trust you?
I was trustworthy.
Sure, so you say.
But like they say, okay, so let's say a person going to Mexico is not excused, but a lot of times, I'm going to go to Europe. Oh, you're excused, It's because Mexico was like they're just going to Mexico. It's not important. But to us, it was important. We went to go
Right.
with
It's your
family.
family. Yeah.
I just feel like the school could have been a little more considerate. I had no control over
Lenient. Right.
going
Over where
and
your
coming.
parents are
Yeah,
taking you.
I couldn't
No,
stay.
that makes sense.
I just feel like they should have considered it and not made my GPA come down. Because later,
I mean, did it hurt your chances?
Well, it could have.
Did it? No, that's not what I said. I said, did it?
It didn't because I did well in my other classes.
All right then.
But I'm saying is it could have hurt other students.
That is
chances
true.
of getting into college.
That is true. But that was
not the case. I know.
30 years ago? 20 years ago?
I don't
30 years ago. Anyway, I know you don't want to hear about that.
It was a long time ago. Yeah,
it
but
was
what I'm
back
saying is I
then,
got
yeah.
good grades, graduated from high school, and I decided by that time my dad had retired from working in the fields because he worked in the fields all his life.
Mm-hmm.
He retired and decided to move to Mexico. He decided to he was going to move to Mexico. I think I was going to graduate high school in the summer, and then in December he was going to move to Mexico. So I decided.
So Tia Rosie was going to be doing high school in Mexico?
Yeah, she went to Mexico. They took my little sister to Mexico. She was raised over there.
Oh, wow. Okay.
She was in 3rd grade when they took her. And so I decided to go to apply to college right there in El Paso, Texas, UTEP.
Right.
Because my parents were leaving to Mexico and I wanted to be close to them. So then after high school, I attended 2 years of UTEP University. I kept in contact with your father. I kept dating him.
Yeah.
And we actually married, and I came back and finished college here.
Fresno State.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Sucks for you. But yeah.
Why?
Fresno State? No, I'm just kidding. San Jose State alum. I don't know.
It was good. Fresno State was good.
I mean, I'm not saying it's...
Anyway, so that's what, after high school, I left to Texas.
What'd you major in?
Liberal studies.
Liberal. She's a liberal. No, I'm just kidding. She's just a teacher, that's all. But she teaches kindergarten.
Yeah.
How many years have you been teaching kindergarten?
I've taught kindergarten, 2nd grade, 1st grade. But kindergarten, I've been there in the last 6 years now, 7.
6? No. You took a break in between or what?
I took a break. I taught kindergarten, went to 2nd grade for a few years.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'm back in.
I forgot about that.
So I kind of, in the class, in the school,
But you're more kindergarten now.
Yeah, I've been teaching kindergarten more than any other grade.
That's what I tell people. Whenever I tell people you're a teacher, I said, oh, yeah, she's a kindergarten teacher.
Yeah, I am.
So.
That's the grade that I love.
I think, yeah. Why? I can't even handle 1 or 2.
I know.
Whenever I pick up the girls, I'm like, 1's fine.
They're adorable.
2's the limit.
Most of them are adorable. Some of them are really hard to. Yeah, it's a hard job.
It's true.
But no, for the most part, the kids that have problems, it's not their fault.
What's your favorite part then?
My favorite part is, the school. My favorite part is getting a child that can't hold a pencil when I get them, and then they leave reading. That's very rewarding.
Those don't correspond, but I get it. Those don't correlate. I get it. I'm just
Why?
kidding. They do a little bit.
I mean, when they come to you with nothing,
I get you. You're
no
giving
support.
you're filling them with knowledge.
Like a lot of them have some of them. I'm not saying that's what happens with all of them, but
right.
There's a lot of kids that have a lot of potential, and nobody has even taken time to teach them how to hold a pencil, how to even write their name, nothing. And so I feel like those kids, at least I couldn't let them know you have potential, you're smart, you just, I don't know. I think once they believe in themselves, they are going to do it no matter what. If they have a parent that supports them or not, they're going to be okay.
Mm.
Yeah, and
I believe in that.
Yeah.
I think that's where I get it from. That's funny because that's what I really tell a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
When I talk to people, that's what I try to let them know. Like, hey, I can give you advice. I can tell you my ideas. I can do all this. But at the end of the day, if you don't figure it out for yourself and how it works for you, my words don't mean anything. Basically, the lead a horse to water shit, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, that's cool. That's good though.
That's what I like when a student.
And you always knew you wanted to be a teacher, like when you were, like UTEP.
I think that even when I was younger, like junior high, elementary school, no junior high, elementary, yeah, about that in junior high, elementary school, I always liked to take care of my nephews and nieces. Even when I saw like, oh, they need, and I used to like to just play and teach them already. So I guess I did. I enjoyed being around kids all my life. And I would
When
volunteer
you were a
babysit
kid
for
yourself.
free. You know how people,
my!
I
For free?
did, yeah, for free. When my brother and sister-in-law, I would say, you know what, you guys should go have fun, go dancing, and I'll take care of the kids. And they had a lot of kids.
Which one? Chewy?
Uh-huh. So
Oh
it was
no!
Juan, Sandra, Betty, Karina.
Jose
used to
Luis
take-
wasn't there yet.
No, he was
Yes.
little actually. So I
How?
used to
He's
take
a year. He's a couple years before me, no?
Oh no, yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. So it was just 4 of them.
Yeah, she's like, you're
4
trying to add
I'm
kids
gonna
to her
add
total.
kids because man, there's a lot of kids.
But
But
they
it
did have a
was
lot
4
of kids.
kids, and sometimes they even had other kids there sometimes because I would
Right.
say the friends would want to go to the dance too, and I would say, just let them stay here. So I would, yeah. So I guess I always knew
free?
for free. For free. Yeah. And then when I started teaching, my first year, I used to say that same thing. I used to say, man, this is so much fun. I would do this for free. I don't even know whether they're paying.
Well, good thing.
Well, I don't say that
good-
anymore.
I was gonna say, good,
I do not say
good
that
thing they
anymore.
don't. Good,
Now I need
good
more
thing they don't
pay.
pay you. I was gonna say.
That only lasted for a little bit. Later, I was like, oh my gosh, they don't pay me enough.
Well, yeah. Luckily, she's fine. She can handle her money. So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, teachers should get paid more.
Yes, it's a.
Unfortunately, that's why there's a shortage. But
Yeah.
either way.
Mm-hmm.
So, you got out of college. You start teaching.
Mm-hmm.
How long you say you've been teaching? Just roughly, altogether?
In 29 years.
29. I am 26. I'm giving away my age. So, teaching before I was born, obviously. Damn,
Yes.
you only taught 3 years and then you had me? What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
How were those 3 years before me? I mean,
Like I said, I was like, oh, this is fun. I can do this for free. It was no pressure. Yeah.
and then you met friends too.
I
I think you've met some friends teaching, right?
Yeah, I started in Parlier. That's where my
Earlier.
first job is, and actually one of my closest friends right now, Rosa. I met her there, and we're still friends now.
Yeah.
And you're friends with her children.
Yes, I haven't talked to him in a minute, but yes,
Yes.
I've
so
seen him around.
That's a friend that I made there in my first job in Parlier as a teacher. And then while I was teaching there, then I got pregnant. I had you, and you had a babysitter there. I would take you there. Parlier, your babysitter was there. She only spoke Spanish. So
You were already married at this point.
I
right?
was married. Oh yeah, well I got married. I got married.
Oh yeah, when did you get married?
I got married when I was 20. So
Jesus.
I went to UTEP 2 years, and so when I was 20, I got married, came back,
So then a year later.
graduated.
you had me? Oh no.
No,
4 years later.
4 years later, I got pregnant from you.
Sheesh.
After I was married, yeah, and I was married at the time, and so your babysitter was there in Parlier. I would take you with me to Parlier.
Was it that lady? Old lady?
She was an older lady.
Mexican lady?
Yes,
I think I remember. She gave me a train or something.
yes,
See? My memory not that bad, alright?
she was really nice.
I remember her giving me some toy train or something.
Yeah,
That's all I
she
remember.
was nice.
But-
Yeah, and so she took care of you. Then I got a job here in Fresno at Central Unified, and
No. I
but
don't know why I thought you were somewhere else in between there.
no,
Okay.
I just went Parlier to Fresno.
To Madison or? Somewhere
To
else.
Madison, actually.
Okay.
So I've been in Madison more than 25 years now.
Shoo.
Same job,
That's.
same place. Ay, ay, ay.
You've seen it grow.
Yeah.
What's been the best and worst thing about Madison?
Um,
I mean, not the worst. I mean, actually, yeah, you,
you
can
know
say
what?
the
I'm
worst.
gonna
You're not gonna
say.
get fired.
I'm
You
gonna
fucking
say
tenured.
that. You know, I told you I made a friend in Parlier, my friend Rosa.
Right.
I feel like I haven't made a friend in all those years at Madison. I have not made a friend.
What
that
about the
I'm-
older ones? They're just older now. That's
They
all.
are. I mean, I made friends, but not like my friend Rosa, where
Yeah, but
we
she was
actually
your
hang
age.
out just to hang out. You know, like right now I have my teacher friends, and once in a while we'll go out. Oh, let's go out to dinner. But it's more like it's
Talking
not
about
like
work or something.
yeah, it's not like we're talking about personal stuff. It's not like a friendship where we tell each other our problems.
Yeah.
Not a friendship like that. Like Rosa and I were like we talk. We're intimate friends.
Right.
But I have not made an intimate friend in Madison, and that's amazing to me. 25 years at a job, and I still
I mean,
that's
yes
weird.
and no. Only because I feel like it's just the people that are there, or the people that have stayed. It's just a bunch of older people. They're set in their ways. They don't have time to go out and talk about their problems. They talk about them there when you're
Yeah.
there. I'm sure they tell you their problems right there.
And I think maybe that was too because back then when I didn't have you,
Oh,
I had
you
more
were
time to
younger.
go out.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
And then now it's like, well, I had you. Even myself, maybe I don't make time.
Well, see, and then back then too, obviously she had the son too, who was a little bit older than me. It was easier to just be like, oh, a teacher friend who has a son who is cool with my son.
Yeah, that's true.
We would hang out.
That's true. That
It
helped me
worked.
make that bond. That bonded us together.
Yeah.
And now it's more like I said, it's more about school.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. I'm really thinking about that. Wow.
Well, I mean, also, maybe you kind of, not that you keep walls up, but I mean, not that you go out of your way, because I think that's both of us. We don't.
Mm-hmm.
We're not the go out of the way type, but we're
Yeah.
not the push away type. We're more
Yeah.
just we're here chilling.
You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I think it is more the wall building. Because by that time, I was already having problems with your dad. It's like I didn't want people to come close to me to know my
Gotcha.
personal problems.
You don't want it to seep into someone else's
Yeah,
life.
and I don't
Yeah.
want I don't want you to come over and see the problems.
Talk about
yeah,
this.
so I think that you're right. It is the walls we build, and we keep people out because we don't want to let them in to see our.
And then
Our
you know,
issues.
that's just shame,
Yeah.
and that's just self shame. Because if anybody else is shaming that, if anybody else is gonna shame you for your problems, then that's just one, hypocritical, because it's not like they don't have their own, and two, it's like, well, then what kind of friend is that? Because you know what? If you can't see that I have problems, but I'm still trying to fix them, then hey, that's on you. If you're missing out on a friendship. So
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
But it's
though,
not them.
hard.
I'm just saying it's always
No,
us.
it's us. No,
Yeah.
it is us. That's what I'm saying. It's our shame. We're
Yeah.
deciding that we don't want to open up
We don't want
because
to let people in.
we're afraid of what they'll think. But it's like, regardless of what they think, the truth is not going to change.
Yeah.
The facts won't change.
Yeah, we probably missed out on meeting a lot of nice people because of those walls.
Oh, 1,000%. That's one of
Yeah.
the reasons I stopped trying to. Don't get me wrong. They're still up. They're not as prominent, and they're not as defensive. Much more inviting, but I definitely started taking my walls down because I was like, yeah, I'm missing out. I'm missing out on good conversation. I'm missing out on good people. I'm missing out on opportunities. I'm missing out on experience. I'm missing out on whatever you want to, whatever you think I'm missing out on. I'm missing out on it just by simply keeping the door shut.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah. We do harm to ourselves.
It is. I mean, it's small harm. Don't get me wrong. It's not like, it's nothing compared to the big harm that people do to themselves.
Yeah,
But
that's true. But it's good to
everybody
have
has their
friends
own.
and socialize. And do
Yeah,
that.
and that's the thing. Don't get me wrong. I think you and me are the same in the fact that we'll be fine if we were to just chill out in our house by ourselves. Like we would. That's our solitude.
Mhm.
That's how we like recharge.
Mhm.
But there's still the human aspect to us where we seek connection of someone else
Yeah.
to feel like this brain isn't the only one that's like this,
Mhm.
or this person isn't the solitary one, in the sea of billions. You know what I mean? Like I want to be unique, which I think everybody wants to be unique, but no one wants to be alone.
Yeah. And everybody is unique.
Well, that's the thing, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, you're right. We shouldn't be alone. We gotta, put that puzzle together.
You got to find your uniqueness and your connectivity all in one. That's the issue. That's why it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah. Anyway, so if you weren't a teacher, do you think you know what you would do, or would you think you'd just always be
the other
something kind of
the other the only other career that I thought about was a child psychologist.
Okay.
Yeah. I was like teacher, child psychologist. Why I went to be a teacher, I don't know. I think it was because it was less years.
See, now you ask it. Now you wonder why I don't go back to college. I'm done. Donezo.
Yeah. No, but maybe it would have been an interesting. But I don't know if it would have been as rewarding. I think I don't know. That seems so hard to see kids. I mean, in a way, as a teacher, you do see all these issues with kids, and you're trying to help them out. But
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think you would have been able to handle all the pain that came with it.
Yeah.
I think you absorbed too much already.
Mm-hmm.
And you would have got lost. I don't think you would have had me.
Mm-hmm.
I think you would have got lost in your job because there would have been so much more to do.
Maybe.
Because with teaching, I feel like...
Not really. I mean, there's psychologists that have kids. I mean, they're...
Yeah, but... That's true. But I just feel like knowing you put yourself into your work because you care.
Mm-hmm.
Because your work is not work to you. It's just something you care about doing. Which is what everybody should want to work to do. That's what everybody's job should be. Something they care about. But anyway...
Mm-hmm.
And so if you would have got to that point with the child psychologist, I feel like it would have been much more demanding just because of the situations that you face.
Mm-hmm.
You would have had more responsibility and it would have weighed on you more. And I think, not that I wouldn't be here, but maybe I wouldn't be me.
Yeah.
Because I think as a teacher, you gave what you could because that's who you are, like I said. But with teaching, you have a certain threshold. Like you have a cap, a limit, because you're a teacher. And I mean, like you're just there to educate and be there for them in that moment.
Yeah.
They have to go home. They have to be with their parents.
Yeah.
You have a limit. Child psychologist, you're getting in kids' heads. You know what I mean? Like you're getting in deep.
It's more intense.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So I don't know.
I'm glad I'm a teacher. I'm glad I took this route. I've never regretted it. I love my job.
No.
I mean, there's been a few years where I was like, oh, what am I doing in this job?
Yeah, but I think it was more the people.
It was more like up there, there were
the systems.
The system demanding things that were not even necessary. It makes sense. Right? You remember we went through that. By the end of this lesson, I will be able to blah, 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 blah. You were like little robots, not even thinking.
Yeah, it was more just because we say it a million times doesn't mean it sticks.
Yes.
You know?
Doesn't mean you're learning. But anyway, that's what they wanted, and I didn't agree with it. But basically, I had to do it to keep my job.
Exactly. Well, now you're tenured.
That was the only time I was tenured then. But then it was only one I was like, I never bought a lottery ticket, but at that time, it was
she was thinking about it.
Yeah, I was like, I should be buying a lottery ticket.
Hey, I'll go right now. You know, we'll split it.
We'll split it?
60-40. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Yeah.
55-45.
But anyway, yeah. No, it was a good choice. Being a teacher was a good choice for me.
I agree. That's probably, because again, it's probably why I'm here. Well, not probably why I'm here, but it obviously in the timeline that we have been in.
Yeah.
Basically, I'm saying if it was another timeline, if you would have went child psychology, I don't think I'd be me.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'd be.
And I liked having my summers off. I mean, the summers.
Might be a girl. That's true. Yeah, you did.
I liked having my summers off. And just...
Even though you worked.
I didn't work in the summers. Not when I was a teacher.
Okay,
planning a little bit.
You would plan, and then at the end and at the beginning of every summer, we'd have to go and clean your room.
Yeah, that's true. But
We.
still,
But who was getting paid for it? Not we.
yeah.
But it's alright. Child
I
labor.
feel like if I had a girl, she would have helped me a lot more. You
Probably.
were reluctant. You
That's
were always
no,
like,
no,
you
no, no,
weren't
no, no,
that
no,
helpful.
no, no,
Don't
no,
act
no,
like you
no.
work so
I didn't
much.
say I was. She would be just as helpful. She would just be less annoying about it.
I think she would have been like, Mom, let me help you cut those.
I was like that
Let
at
me help you
first.
fix this bulletin board.
But then I realized I was doing child labor. No payment,
No.
no money, not even McDonald's half the
You
time.
got McDonald's.
Yeah, because you had to feed me, not because I did work for you.
Well, of course. You get paid food and a roof over your head.
Mm. Like, yeah, call CP. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. And then I only had one, one baby,
Hey,
my only child.
when you make the pancake golden, why keep going?
Ah,
Enjoy it.
okay.
Nah, just kidding. I mean, circumstances just happened to where you had one kid.
And you know what? Why? One of the main reasons I only had one is the cost of paying for a babysitter.
I
couldn't
thought you said
afford
my
it.
babysitter was cool.
She was cool, but she didn't work for free.
Okay, I just thought it would be a little bit, I thought she was nice. Gave
No,
me a
she
little
didn't charge me a
discount or
lot.
something.
No, she was really nice. I still had to pay people. The only time when I got a break was when I got a divorce from your dad, and I was struggling financially, even though I was a teacher. And Evelyn,
I remember.
at that time, she knew I was struggling, and she was like, Anna, I don't want you to pay me. And I was like, no, you can't do that. And she's like, no, I love Vito. And
Yeah, that's because I was dope.
She actually babysat for free for.
Sorry for the technical difficulties there. I think it's because I had it on the 4K. We're going to switch that up. But we're talking about Evelyn. Wow. Second babysitter?
Mhm.
One that was...
No, actually, third babysitter. Before then, you had another parent I met a parent here in Madison,
She did it?
and she was really nice. She had her son Eddie. Her son was my student.
Oh.
Yeah, Eddie Pina. And now I think they said he's, my student is Pacific. I think he's even, I don't know if he's
Fresno
president.
Pacific?
Fresno Pacific. I don't know if he's president or vice president or something. He's something really big up there.
Education. Oh,
in
okay,
education.
okay. Nice. My grandma is outside right now. She is the dopest.
Y luego el lucero que está ahí enseguida.
¿Le gusta, mamá?
And there's a badass moon out right
Quisiera ser una estrella.
¿Sí? ¿Quieres ser una estrella? Oh, ¿le gusta la luna, mamá?
Me encanta.
now. So,
My mama loves the moon. So do I.
yeah.
Aunque tuviera miedo para salir, cuando estaba la luna sí me salía.
Sin miedo.
Mm,
No tenía miedo.
She was, no matter if she's scared or not, of the dark, she would always go out to see the moon. It's beautiful.
it's interesting. She used to live in...
Mira
Yeah.
qué hermoso. Por eso hice la canción de la luna.
De la luna.
Cántala.
La de octubre es más hermosa, porque en ella se refleja la quietud de un alma que está enamorada, yo creo. Ya no me
Ay,
acuerdo.
mama, anda muy poética with the poem, with the poetic grandma.
It's my grandma.
Mira el lucero, ahí está rete bonito también. Son 3 luceros, nomás se ve uno.
She is in awe of the moon and the stars around it.
It's very bright right now. It's huge. Is that a
Yeah.
full moon? Looks like
It's a full moon, or maybe almost full. I can't see it. 'Cause of the-
Mañana o pasado va a estar bien.
It's beautiful.
So tomorrow, grandma says tomorrow's going to be the full moon.
Estamos haciendo una entrevista, mamá,
Cállate.
aquí. Estamos
Oh.
Grabando una entrevista. Usted está saliendo
¿Quiere-
también la entrevista. ¿Quieres algo?
Va,
¿Quieres hablar?
bueno.
¿Por qué no? Grandma is kind of old,
She's not. She's 82.
Grabando.
Sí, mamá.
but she's the
Vaya, me
dopest.
sacaste.
Ya la sacamos. No la sacamos
Pues
su voz.
nomás tu voz. And this
No, yo
this
me
lady.
Voy a bañarme.
Ándale, pues, mamá.
Ahorita,
Sí,
Okay.
para que lavarme el dedo con agua con sal,
Oh, okay.
Mua.
lo que yo quiero.
Igualmente, bonita.
Ándale pues, mamá.
Ya
¿Verdad?
miré la luna,
Pues muy bonita.
hermosa.
See,
Mhm.
I think it is tomorrow's gonna be the full one. It looks like a little bit off in the sun.
Gaby también sabe a verla desde que sabe que me gusta mucho. Y antes le decía y no me hace caso.
Y ahora sí, ¿verdad?
Ahora
Está
sí.
muy bonito.
Y
Okay,
ahora,
mamá.
alguien casa.
Entonces, ay, cuando ya me vaya, mira la luna y dice, mira, esta le gustaba a mi abuelita, la
Mhm.
luna.
Pues ya
Algo
sabe.
tan simple.
Ya sabe.
Sí, mamá.
Yo me
Freaking.
voy a meter al baño, no sé ahorita
No, está bien.
si van a estar afuera, yo me he puesto a dormir.
Ok,
Ah,
mamá. Ahorita voy yo a...
No, ahorita voy adentro.
Los quiero.
Ok, yo también la
Igualmente,
quiero,
ahorita.
mamá.
Oh, I love you too, Juge.
Has Juge ever come out on your videos?
Maybe not like where I'm like but like he's
Look
been
at...
seen.
How come you don't show him off? He's so cute. Look at that. Look at how cute he is.
This is my brother.
Look at that.
This is the only brother I have.
Look at it. They look the same. Igual de feos.
We both have an underbite, yeah.
Anyway, yeah, we were talking about your babysitter. Oh yeah, so we were talking
I
about
had
how
so I had the train lady in Parlier. I had a parent in Madison, and then I had Evelyn.
and then Evelyn. And Evelyn is the one that babysat you for free.
What a freak!
For a while. I paid her for a while, and then when I was struggling financially, she just so kind. She was like, "No, I don't want you to pay." And then she adopted 2 more kids, so it got too much for her. So then I had
She adopted both of them? I thought she only adopted
no,
one.
she adopted 2.
Oh, I thought one was her.
No.
Oh.
And so then she
Cool.
she had to take care of her kids, so then I had to look for another babysitter. Anyway,
What do you mean? I would be going there still.
for a while,
Yeah.
but it got to be too much because she had appointments and go to court, and
Well,
I
yeah.
think when they're
and then
adopting,
one of her kids was kind of crazy at the time.
yeah,
Not crazy, but
was
obviously
a
he had just
handful.
been adopted, so.
and then she
Get
had.
into the swing
I
of
think when you
things.
the kids had a lot of issues, but they're great now. But at that
Yeah.
time,
No, that's what I'm saying. I remember because, I remember when he would throw tantrums
mm-hmm.
and she would be all, she would obviously have to discipline him or whatever, right?
Mhm.
And I was just like,
yeah,
you just tell obviously that, he,
yeah, trauma,
yeah,
and she had to help him through it.
yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, so she's like, I can't do it. And so of course I understood, and then I had to look for another babysitter.
And who was
But
after that?
you don't remember? She used to live over there by Madison. She was related to she was related to her in some way. I think her husband and Evelyn's husband were cousins or something like that.
Oh, okay.
So anyway,
So
you
what?
don't remember that lady?
Nah.
Oh, it must have not made an impression on you. Because how can you remember Evelyn and not remember that?
Because
other
I remember Evelyn because I was playing with her kids all the time.
yeah, I don't know this other lady.
I was playing with Jonathan. I was playing
Honestly,
with.
I don't
what's her name?
remember the other lady's name.
What? How you gonna tell? How you gonna tell me?
I just know it's
how,
Evelyn's family.
how you gonna? Never mind.
Well, anyway, we both don't remember her.
Yeah, except I was like 6 and you were
Well,
25, 20, 30.
I
I
don't
don't
have
know.
a good memory.
Oh, well, look at us. I remember all my, except for her, I remember all the other ones.
Yeah. Well,
And I
anyway,
was-
so you had that babysitter.
And then what? After that?
Then you started.
School.
Oh no! And then I got a divorce when
Right.
you were 4.
Yeah, roughly.
Yes, and
I've been saying 3. Is it 4? Okay,
I
whatever.
don't know. It was 3 or 4. I
Don't
don't
matter.
remember. I also know.
It doesn't matter.
Remember.
Either way.
But then I moved to Parlier. And
Oh.
Amber was watching you,
Oh,
and for a little while, Amber was.
she was in Fowler, right?
She was in Fowler.
Yeah.
No, not Parlier. I'm sorry. I moved to Fowler.
I was going to say, I think we went to Fowler.
Yeah, and we moved to Fowler, and Amber was living there, and she babysat you there.
See, and that's when I remember that because I was a Christian.
Yeah. There you go.
So I only remember
And then
when
you
I had
started
another
school.
kid.
So then your kindergarten year, you went to school in
Fowler.
Fowler.
I remember.
And
I remember that.
Yeah.
Miss Downs.
And then at that time, and now she's my coworker. We're both teaching kindergarten. Miss Downs. is
She's right
teaching-
there.
Yeah.
I forgot she's there.
She's there. But then after that,
Good Joe.
what is he doing?
He's playing catching his tail.
Oh. Yeah, and after that, you came He's going crazy.
Yeah, look at. He just plays. That's how he plays. Sometimes I'll throw his little rope. We play fetch, but.
That's what he's doing. But anyway, yeah.
I remember Miss Downs, but I don't remember her.
Mm-hmm.
When she, like a couple years ago, right? She came to Madison.
She was at teachers come and go, right? She was in Madison for a little while, went to Steinbach, came back. Yeah. She was at Steinbach, came to Madison. I don't know where she went for a little while, but now she's back. I don't know. But anyway, she's back at Madison.
Nice. That's good though.
Yeah. So yeah, you were So those were your sitters.
Nice.
Oh, and at that time, yeah, like I said, I was getting divorced. So we went to Fowler, and then we came.
We lived with my tia at that time.
No, we didn't ever live with your tia.
Tia Rossi.
We didn't live with a tia. She was our neighbor. We lived in little apartments. Our apartments were like next to each other. They were like.
Why did I think she lived with us?
No. Oh, well, it's because for a little while when I divorced your dad.
She would stay over.
No, when I divorced your dad, I lived in an apartment for a little while. And she was living with us at that time. When I divorced your dad, Rossi was living with me.
Right.
And when I went to apartment, of course, she went with me. I took her with me to the apartment because, And then we moved to that house in Jensen. And from Jensen, we went to Fowler. And then when we're at Fowler, that's when we saved up money and I bought a house here in Fresno.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha. But the one in Fowler, the apartment, next door, Tia Rossi lived.
Yes.
Okay.
We were neighbors.
I guess that's why I thought she lived with us.
No. She did live with us when you were born.
A little bit.
Yes. When you were born, she lived with me.
I don't remember that. I remember the apartments.
Yeah.
I remember the apartments because they were small. And I remember it was 2 rows, 2 sides.
Yeah.
I remember those. I remember I had a little like electric bike, like one of those little.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was it was a Harley. I remember.
Yeah, it was a little motorized bike.
There you go. Yeah.
And then we would always sit, and I always, I love looking at the stars and the moon. That's why I keep turning that way.
I mean, we used to do that at the other house.
We used to do that. We used to put a blanket outside and sit outside and just look at the stars and the moon. And I remember that as a child too. I used to do that with you because as a child, that's one of the things I did with my dad, and mostly my dad.
Right.
Is that we would get a blanket and we'd sit in the grass and just sit outside and just look at the stars and the moon and just enjoy the night.
We did that.
Yeah, we did it too.
I remember that at the other house.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you'd have your chair out there, you could do your work.
Yeah.
We would just be sitting there.
Yeah. You'd be playing out there while I was watching.
Because first I'd be playing down the street. And
I'm talking about Fowler. Since Fowler, we used to get a blanket.
Oh, I'm talking about the other house.
The first house that I bought when you were a baby too.
The other house, what I remember is you would sit out front with the chair when it was starting to get dark. Not when it was dark yet, but I would be down the street playing basketball or something with the neighbors, and I had to be home, before it was dark, and then we would just put the blanket out on the lawn.
Mm-hmm.
And just such.
Yeah. So you still got that go play in the neighborhood
thing
that a lot of you think?
I think I was the last one.
Yeah.
I was the last one that does it. I was the last one that did it every day, pretty much. Because my generation, I was outside almost every day, or every other day.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At
least I was out
there
there too. That's why I would take my work. You don't remember, but I was always out there.
Not when we went to the other house. When we were on Holland,
Mm-hmm.
I would play down the street all the time. You weren't outside.
But I was outside.
Not all the time.
You don't even remember.
Yes, I do, because
How
I would
can
be
you?
down the street and I would look down and you weren't there because you would trust me. Because it was just down the street. You just said, don't go. You said, just stay on the street. You said, as long as you stay on the street, you're good.
Really?
Yes, because you could see me. You would, because you knew if you would come down and look down, you would yell and then I would come down.
Oh, okay.
So then you were like, as long as you stay on the street, we're good.
Wow.
So I would just stay on the street. It was a long street. I mean, it was kind of like, I would go down the street to where the basketball court was, my friend's house.
Oh, yeah.
But it wasn't like I was like, you could still see me. You could still yell at me. You could still tell me to come home.
Oh, okay.
So
you got to play outside.
yeah, I know. Yeah. If I was going to the street over, I'd come home and let you know. Hey, I'm gonna go into the neighborhood, or I'm gonna go to the school because we live by Teague. I don't know. We live by the school, and if I was gonna go to the school, I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna go to school or whatever.
So you're one of those kids that still got to play around the neighborhood.
Yeah. Especially once I got a bike.
Yeah.
I was biking to the school, biking around the neighborhood, biking whatever. Like, especially, it was definitely a lot more trust. I mean,
Not like at my time. My time was a lot of trust. But,
that's true.
But yours still, you got
To a
some-
sense. To a sense. I mean, obviously, it wasn't as crazy, like you said, as yours, where it was just like have fun. But yeah, and I think that's just you. That's your parenting style. Because I mean, there was other parents where like I was playing with kids that were like from down the block, not down the block, but like in the neighborhood or whatever, and like their parents didn't care as long as they were in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But now kids don't get to play outside that much. I don't think. I
Well,
don't
where
know.
would they go play? That's the thing. There's nowhere to play. Luckily, I had a basketball court down the street, or I wouldn't go anywhere. Or in the
Well,
school,
even here in
I would go play at the
I
school.
don't see kids playing outside with each
What
other.
are they gonna play?
What? The same
And
thing you played in the street.
And like I said, I do see kids playing. You don't see them playing down the street on the basketball court. They used to all the time. I think they're going to school now. But I used to see a son and the dad,
I used to see that.
and then I don't know if it's their like little sisters or whatever. They would be on the scooters. I see that all the time. Well, not all the time, but I see that here once in a while. It's hard because
Maybe
You
it's
gotta
us
watch-
that we're inside, huh?
that too. You're never outside.
That's true. The kids are probably having a blast, and I'm inside.
But I mean, yeah. I mean, what are you gonna do? Stand outside? It's weird.
Well, some people used to hang out outside in the
I
front
mean, they
all the
do.
time.
Those old people.
Yeah, the drunks.
Well, you can join them
I could join them.
if you want. I might be there next.
Mm-hmm.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird because it's like kids. I'm sure kids want to be outside if they could, but like I said, there's nothing to do outside. You have luckily we live near the school. If we didn't live near the school, I wouldn't have anywhere to go. We wouldn't have went and played basketball. We wouldn't have played soccer. We wouldn't have played hide and seek or whatever the hell we played in the school.
But sometimes you would play right there in the
We
driveway.
would only play basketball really right there, or we would play whatever fucking game we came up with.
Driveway. You
My
would play in the
driveway?
driveway. Yeah.
Well, that's because we had a basketball court too.
Yeah. We had a basketball court. And we would play Foursquare or
That's
whatever.
what I mean. Is we had the we did play Foursquare in the garage or in the
Driveway.
driveway. But I mean, that's why we didn't have anything else to do.
Yeah.
Basketball and Foursquare. Because
Well,
that's what I would play over there too at their house when I was down the street.
yeah. There's some kids.
Tag, dodgeball. We play all that.
I think kids play too many video games. Nowadays. Too
No,
many video games.
that's not it.
That's it.
That is not
Kids are
it.
Instead of getting out there, getting some exercise,
There's no kids out there getting exercise?
not very many.
Again,
But maybe I don't know. Maybe
There's
I'm
no-
inside my house.
that too, but what I'm saying is there's no places to go. Because guess what? Then the
Back then
parents are
there was-
going to worry about them. Back then the parents didn't worry because they didn't.
Yeah,
There was
but
only
you
two
could
serial
sit
killers.
outside. Go put a lawn chair and sit outside.
Parents don't have time to sit outside. They're working.
Yeah, that's true.
And if they're not working, they're like, I want
I wanna-
to relax. I'm tired.
Yeah.
There's a little thing next
There's
to
a
you.
bug? Oh, vámonos. I didn't even get it.
Yeah, it's okay. Too slow. Maybe next time. Yeah, I don't know. It's a whole thing, and it's. All I know is
Did
that,
you like your childhood?
of course. I mean, how can I say I didn't?
It was fun.
If I say I didn't, then I have to change my whole life. I will say though that the kids now are smarter.
I don't think so.
I know you don't think so, but in terms of like what they learn early on, they learn obviously because they're sponges and we throw it on them. But so it's I guess it's a product of the environment. Is that we're producing these adult children so that adults don't have to deal with children. You know what I mean? Because it's like if I make my child as adult like as possible or as mature as possible, then I don't have to deal with them being a child. I just have to correct them. And so we have all these kids now that are like, well, you know, don't you want to be big, grow up? We tell them grow up when they're fucking like 5. And it's like they're not grown up. Even when they're 15, they're not grown up. They're fucking kids. They just think they are. And that's why we have all these kids that are hypersexualized and hyper like thinking they're grown ups.
They're growing up in a wrong way. Because see, before I keep thinking of my dad who his dad passed away when he was 5, so he had to work as a young child. So in a way, before the kids had more responsibilities, helping the families. I feel like. Do you think kids nowadays?
I don't think they had responsibilities. I think they had obligation. Because just because the kid doesn't have the same threshold of responsibility, or in your eyes, it doesn't mean that it's still not responsibility. They just have it in a different way.
So you think that kids now they're made to grow up emotionally? Emotionally,
not physically. Back then, it was do the work. Don't think about how it makes you feel. Just you work and you make money for your family. That's what you do. You can still be a kid. You can still go enjoy these little shits. Whatever. I mean, they're not little shits, but you know, enjoy your little things that you like to do as a kid.
Playing.
Yeah, enjoy them. Whatever it is. But still, you have to work. That's the physical. We made them grow up physically back then. I mean, that's what it is. All it is.
Okay, and now you feel like emotionally.
Because now we've especially now we've come to the point where we have so much physical labor available to us. There's too many people available to do the work. We don't need kids anymore. We need less kids. Literally, that's why they made the law. No kids working. We don't want kids working. We have enough. We need more people working. We have people homeless. We want them working, not the kids, right? And it's but we forced them to grow up emotionally because not forced them. It's more just that we have all this information of existence that usually comes with experience or age.
So we expect them to grow up.
And it's not even it's not that we expect them. It's just that we throw all this experience and age at them in this little bubble called the internet or social media. And it's not like we do it intentionally because it just depends on what they absorb. But it's still throwing the whole ball of the internet at them. You know?
Well, see, that's why they're saying right now that you're right, because they're letting kids make decisions like if they're adults. And honestly, I still believe kids are not mature enough to make certain decisions. You have to make decisions for them. And now we think that kids can make decisions for themselves, and kids cannot. I am sorry.
Like certain thresholds, right?
Yeah,
you can choose what you want to eat. You can choose what you want to wear.
You can only handle so much at a time. You cannot expect a child to,
And that's what I mean. We've thrown this emotional maturity on them to say get with the program as soon as possible. And we've tried to dilute the facts and the truth that we know as adults into manageable things for children to understand. But it's like sometimes that's just not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Sometimes just let them be kids. They'll figure it out as they ask questions and they grow older.
Yeah.
If they never ask questions, then that's kind of on the parent to not foster that curiosity.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know. The world's weird. The world's crazy. I don't think I can handle kids.
And I don't think I'm going to be a grandma.
Sorry, Mom. Even though some people are asking, but can't do it.
Oh, it's all right.
Can't do it.
It's okay. I know the world is messed up.
That's what it is. Honestly, in my mind, like that's what eats at me at the end of the day. Is if I have a child, I have to. Don't get me wrong. I raise them to the best of my ability. I do the best I can. But what good is your best if you have no resources or if you have nothing that is actually what they need? You know what I mean?
Kids don't need much.
Yeah.
What do they need?
No.
You need clothes,
Listen.
food,
No.
love.
Stop.
Okay.
Stop.
Shelter,
Stop.
food, clothes, and love.
If you can trivialize life into those three categories, all you want, but context is real and reality is real. Reality doesn't fit in 3 boxes.
Okay, so if you have clothes, food, shelter, and love, that's not enough?
You don't think there's people that get addicted to drugs with clothes, food, shelter, and love?
And you think that they're addicted to drugs because they lack what?
Love for themselves.
Okay, then there's love. But what do you want to give a child?
But that's what I'm saying. You can't.
What else can you give a child besides that that's going to keep them from doing drugs?
I guess what I mean is like, I don't know what the probability. I don't know what the probability is of what this child will be like. Their brain.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it could be a whole different composition because it's going to be me and someone else's DNA, right?
Yeah.
But I know my half. I know where my half comes from. And I know that if I'm going to put 50% of that into someone's bet, that's not necessarily beneficial to the pool, to the gene pool.
But you're so smart.
That doesn't matter. There's much smarter people.
I know.
Genius, smarts, whatever it is.
It's not about
It's going to come periodically.
It's not about smart, yeah. Yeah.
Because you know what sucks is that, you know who else is smart are fucking dictators. They get to that point. Well, actually, now they're just ruthless. But either way, like to get to a point, they had to have planned. You know what I mean? Like
no, that takes brains to do that. Yeah.
But they didn't have love.
They don't have love. That's what I'm saying. Love is the key.
Okay.
Love. Somebody told me because when I was I grew up poor. I just told a friend.
Yeah, you have.
I told her, we grew up poor. I forgot what we were talking about. I don't have any school pictures. My parents didn't. I don't have any school pictures when I was
a baby.
in elementary school.
Yeah.
You know, they buy the school pictures. I go, I don't have any. And she's like, why not? I go, well, my parents couldn't afford to buy the school pictures. I go, we were poor. And she goes, we weren't poor. She was poor too. She goes, I don't have pictures either. She goes, we weren't poor, sister. We had love. And when you have love, you're not poor. And I think about it, and I'm like, yeah, you're right. You can have the richest family in the world, but if you don't have love, you're gonna be poor. So I think that I didn't even know we were poor. To tell you the truth, my sister and I, we didn't even know. We didn't realize. We thought we're okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's how it should be. Is that you have so much love that money is not an issue, which it shouldn't be an issue, but obviously it is, and I don't want to get into it.
It is just because you can't go on a vacation to Europe, just because you can't go on vacation to Disneyland. That's not gonna be a big deal.
No, not at all.
Take your child to the park. Take your child to the zoo if you can. If if the zoo is too expensive, take them, like I said, to the park. Take them to a lake.
Make them like a lake day once a month, once every few months. Yeah, you just got to make time.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. And that's why, don't get me wrong, there's times where I'm like, maybe I would, or I wouldn't mind a child because I know that I would give him my time. And every time I would give him my time, it would be the best. I'd give him the best part of me because that's what I would want them to have.
Mm-hmm.
But what stops me is...
Well, you haven't found the right person. You haven't fallen in love.
Relax.
You gotta fall in love first.
Stop. Yeah, okay. Tell that to all the people that are here out of love.
Well, yeah.
Look how great that got us. Look where we're at.
Love. Yeah. But look, I love your dad. I still
I
love your
know.
dad.
I understand.
Different kind of love, but you were a product of love, and I,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Product. Maybe not a. How would I say that? Like continual. Maybe it wasn't.
No,
Maybe creative, but I
your
don't know,
dad and I
product
loved
of
each
love.
other. Your dad and I loved each other, right?
Right.
But so, yeah, I'm just saying you haven't found the. And so we had you. We were in love. We had you. You were a product of our love.
Right.
When you have a child, or anybody has a child, it should be a product of love, not a product of, oh, I'm going to trap this man, or I'm going to make this marriage better, or
Right.
you know what I mean, or I don't want to be alone. What's one reason why people do it is like, oh, I
yeah.
don't want to be alone. That's not a reason to have a kid.
Yeah.
So you haven't found the right person yet.
Well, that's what you
You have
say.
to be in love.
That's what you say.
You have to be in love, or maybe they don't love you back. I don't know what the issue is, but you have
No,
to have
but what
love.
what I say is, thanks. I guess that's for me. It's like love is not. I guess what I'm trying to say is it doesn't matter how much I love somebody. If there's a system in place that's always going to keep them locked up, it doesn't matter if we're both in cages.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I'm sure that if you fall in love with someone and she loves you and you love her,
the way I feel,
she tells you, let's have a baby.
In a cage.
What cage?
Capitalism.
Ay, ay, ay.
But that's what I mean. That's for me. That's why it's me. That's why I don't want to have a kid. Because I know at the end of the day, they're going to be stuck in this system that I don't even want to be in.
Oh.
I don't want to be in it. Why am I going to tell somebody else here, have a good old time working for the rest of your life? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I get that. You can't go and ask your kids, hey, do you want to be born?
But everybody has to work.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying I'm not going to ever work. I'm not saying people should never work. What I'm saying is...
Okay, even you just say, hey, brother, cool down, give me 5.
I take them to walks every goddamn day. What I'm saying is...
Yeah, brother.
What I'm saying is... I did not ask to be born into this world.
Mm-hmm.
But now...
that you're here.
Without my permission or anything, I am now forced to work or die.
Poor you.
And it's not even that. It's not even the forced to work part. It's the forced to work more hours than humanly, even our ancestors even thought was possible. You think our ancestors worked 8 hours a day? Fuck no.
Mm-hmm.
They worked their 2-3 hours. They hunted. They came back. They rested. They went out and hunted again. And the gatherers were gathering that time. They came back and ate what they caught. And that's what it was. That's like 6 hours tops.
We should have stayed like that. I always say,
Okay,
they had it right. We got it
Europeans.
wrong. But what are we going to do? We're here. And
that's not how it should... Okay. You know what? That's not what Columbus said. What are we going to do? Let's just go back. He burned his goddamn boats.
Mm-hmm.
He burned his dumbass boats and he said, I'm going to make sure my people want to kill these other people. And not that I'm on the side of Columbus. He's a fucking idiot. And he's definitely in hell. But things don't change when people just say, well, that's how it is what I'm saying.
Mm. I'm just saying is, you're here.
Okay.
You do,
but if
do what you can.
You can keep... I am doing what I can, but it doesn't mean that I have to keep doing what I have to do.
And at the same time, you go and you help others, and that's all you're going to do. Okay, that's my main point. Love others, help others, there.
She don't want to talk about work, but...
Yeah, and work.
I work where I'm needed.
Yeah. Anyway.
How'd you raise a lazy son?
You're not lazy, mijo. You're hardworking. When you've had your jobs, you're responsible. You show up on time. Do you show up on time? I think you do.
Yeah, I do.
You get up early.
I do.
I think you're responsible.
I show up on
I
time.
think that, you have these projects in mind, and I'm glad you're choosing to pursue them. It's the time right now.
What
Good for you.
happens? What happens if these projects become more?
That's fine. As long as you're
What if
content.
I just want to do projects for the rest of my life?
Well, as long as, are they gonna feed you?
Barely.
Well, as long as you have food.
Okay.
Are they gonna put a roof over your head?
I got a trailer, don't
You have a roof. You have roof. You have food. You have clothes.
I? I don't know about
And you have
love.
love.
I don't know about the love part though. That's the one I'm missing.
If you have those 4 things, that's fine.
Yeah. Gotcha.
hmm
Okay. Okay, Buddha. Oh, wise one. That was a little racist.
My comment right
Just kidding. I don't know. You're not racist, Mom. Actually, we are slightly. We all have slightly internal racism.
What's that?
It is, but it's mainly because we've grown up in a country that was founded on it. Basically, it's like saying, you grow up with the foundation made of sand, you're going to get some in your shoes. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's just how it is.
I kind of feel bad for people that grow up like that. Like I grew up in Mendoza, nothing but Mexicans. I mean, like, I don't know.
Basically, Little Mexico is Mendoza.
Yeah. And so when I went, and then I went to UTEP, Mexicans.
Texas, right?
And then when I came to Fresno State, now it's more diverse. But even when I was there, many years ago, even then I would go into my classes, and honestly, there would be
Puro
like
güero?
Puro güero. It would be like maybe 4 or 5 Mexicans around in a class. It was puro güero. It was weird because I was like in culture shock. I was like, oh my goodness,
You forget that it's a farm town,
I know. And now it's more. I mean, now
Oh, yeah,
Fresno has
now.
been more. Fresno State is probably like 50-50 or something.
More diverse, yeah, for sure.
For sure. And I'm glad. I'm
Especially
saying
because they
that.
have international students, all that other stuff.
Yeah, I think when you grow up, just even that, growing with nothing but Mexicans, it was not good for me. I don't think. I wish I would have. My community would have been more diverse.
I mean, you grew up in Mendoza. That's literally, like I said, Little Mexico. Like
Mhm.
people there might only speak Spanish half the time. And yeah, I get what you mean. It didn't expose you to as much as you wanted.
No.
But I mean, that's.
But
So I guess it's not your fault, obviously, where you grew up.
Mhm.
But you can still. I mean, you still. You're very vocal. You still. You just talk to people.
Yeah, no. I don't know. Maybe my education or whatever, but what it is. But I've just learned. You know what? Everybody's the same on the inside. People just doesn't matter what the outside looks like. Everybody's the same on the inside. People are still.
But she does recognize that there are racial disparities in justice system.
In the what? Justice system?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. For sure. People are racist. I just wish it wasn't, but yeah, definitely.
I think, well, not everybody, but I think most people wish that we were
And
racist.
like you say, maybe we are too in a way.
So internal racism is different between like inherent racism, where you're actively doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like you are intentional racism. There you go, not
Mhm.
inherent. Intentional one is different between inherent. So intentional is like you mean to cause harm. You're trying to hurt. You're trying to rile someone up.
Mm-hmm.
Inherent is like these little things that we've just kind of picked up unknowingly that are that have racial tendencies
Mm-hmm.
that we don't notice because we just think, well, one, when obviously, like you said, when we're with a lot of Mexicans and if we say certain things, the Mexicans won't get offended because they're Mexican. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, it's just that little thing. Like to you, it won't mean much. Not to say it around certain people, but it's just like, but it's still in your head. You know what I mean? Like it's still you still think it's okay to say it, just not in the situation.
Yeah.
So then it kind of gives you that like right or wrong complex, that gray area. Like it's okay in this area. Here's the gray. So it allows racism to exist in a gray area,
Okay.
instead of making it black and white, which it should be. So that's what the inherent racism does. It basically makes racism gray.
Yeah.
Because it's like, ooh, that's kind of racist.
Yeah.
And you got to unpack it. It's a whole thing, but it's things that obviously we need to do. We got to put in the work. But it's not easy. Because, I mean, even myself, I still struggle. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a...
We struggle, but it's about us recognizing it at the same time. Mm-hmm.
So then that's the thing with the inherent ones. Some people don't ever recognize it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't ever have malice. Like they're not actively trying to hurt people. It's just things that they've heard, and then they repeat without any thought, and it's just what they're used
I
to.
think that you've been fed these, like that, those studies where they show kids, where they show them those dolls, right? Have you seen those studies?
Which dolls?
They show kids a white doll and even they've done it with black kids. They've done it with Mexican kids, where they show them a white doll and a brown doll, and then they ask them which one's the ugly one.
Really?
And they point to the dark one.
Really?
And they ask them which one is the mean one, and they point to the. So they're everything bad. They're pointing to the dark one all the time.
That's the
And
inherent.
then they ask them, which is really sad, which one looks more like you. And obviously they're asking these kids that are minorities. They're asking these kids that are minorities. And when they ask that minority which one looks more like you, they're pointing to the white doll because they don't want to be that brown doll. These are little kids doing that.
Yeah. And seeing that, and that's how people internalize. That's what they call internalized hate. That's how they get these people like African Americans, Mexicans who support Trump. Like, how are you going to support this man who's calling us rapists? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and that's that internalized hate that's like, well, I'm not a rapist. He's not talking about me. He's talking about the other ones. But then that separates you from your people because it's like, there's the other ones. Yeah, there might be other ones. There are rapist Mexicans, but there's rapist white people. There's rapists every race. So, like, don't separate the race. Separate the rapist part. Let's separate the people from the
And don't you think
criminals.
sometimes, like, the media has a lot to do with it? Because they're always like,
yes,
they shouldn't be, I
Well-
don't know, it's like this black person, this Mexican, this white. I mean, why don't they just say this
person
rapist?
did it?
Yeah.
And yes, it is partly that. But that's because you got to see who owns the main media. It's like two people. Like one person owns one side and then one person on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, they do that on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to, if you listen to the words that they say, you'll see like, well, why do they say it that way?
Yeah.
Because they're trying to elicit responses. They're trying to get views. They're trying to get,
Yeah, that's true.
which,
But all those things come into, like you're saying, all those things are feeding us this and that's what's creating that separation in our society. All those little
Yeah.
things you get in TV, you get in, and so
but you
when
get
a
it in
kid,
everything. TV,
and
you
when
get
you're
it in
getting
media.
a kid already thinking, already seeing. I mean, these are little kids.
Learning
Honestly,
to
that
hate
study
themselves,
was
yeah.
like 4 or 5 year old already. They're little ones.
Yep,
Already seeing that,
yep.
feeling like that. That's,
Kids learning to hate themselves.
or hating somebody else, and they see another color and they're like, "Oh, that's bad.
Exactly.
Or that person is bad."
Just simply, and that's what the issue is.
Mm-hmm.
Because we don't know why. I mean, I guess I can't say we don't know why it happens because obviously racism, but we don't know why exactly it happens. Like to get to the root of that, the root is like in like a bunch of different places, and so
What can we do about it? Is the
it's like
question.
one by one. I mean, we're trying to get to it one by one. You have to literally uproot the whole system.
But there's people still feeding that stuff to their kids. Like
And
you,
that's the
we
issue.
raised you with accept everybody, and you're even more than me. You're more accepting of everybody than I am. I still struggle a little bit with here and there, but
I think I just took it one step further. Yes.
yes. So what I'm saying, I mean, I'm proud of you for
Thank
doing that. But what I'm saying is, there's kids fighting with their parents because their parents are the opposite. They're like, don't hang around with this person. They're this way. They're that way. Or there's this color, or there's
Putting
this.
stipulations. Yeah.
Yes. Instead of.
See, but here's the thing with that. And this is why I say I have so much faith in humanity, the new generation, the younger ones. because the reason that they're so emboldened, the reason they're so brave, the reason they're so like fuck everybody, I'm gonna tell you guys what the fuck's wrong, is because of that.
Mhm.
Because their whole life, all of they heard was no, 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 wrong, 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 and literally just for existing.
Mhm.
And so when they get to a point where they see other people getting told the same thing, enough people come together and they're like, you know what? All we're doing is fucking existing. We're not wrong for
Mhm.
existing.
Mhm.
And when all those people come together, they are loud, much louder than the people who are yelling, you're wrong.
Yeah, because honestly, I mean, you have to think when somebody's telling you this is right and this is wrong. There is right and wrong, no matter. I mean, it's just, of course,
Yes.
there is right and wrong, and you have to.
Well,
There is right and wrong.
so yes.
Raping somebody is wrong.
Agreed.
So I mean,
But what if you rape a rapist? You know, I guess it's
that's
wrong.
wrong too.
It is wrong. But you know what I mean? Like it's like contextually, people would, I'm not saying I would, but I'm saying contextually, some people would see that as like, well, it's not as bad. You know what I mean? Like, because they were like, well, that they were given what they deserve. Like, you know, it's like a weird thing
Mhm.
where like right and wrong is, I mean, yes, there is right and
There's
wrong,
right and wrong.
but we've contextualized it.
There's right and wrong, but treating a person bad for no reason at all, no matter what, that's wrong.
Of course.
When they've done you no harm, I don't care where you live, what language or country, that's always going to be wrong. Treating a person bad
Agreed.
is always going to be wrong. So,
And for me, that when I see people like that anywhere that just want to harm others just for fun, because they get a kick out of it, that's how you know that those people are really looking for love. They're really lacking it
yeah,
because they want that response. All they're asking for is someone to yell at them. They want someone to notice them. That's it.
yeah,
That's why they hurt others, because they're like, if I hurt this other person, they're gonna notice that I hurt them, and then talk to me, yell at me, whatever the response is. But I will be noticed. I will be seen.
yeah, that's true. Something's lacking. I try to do that too when I see somebody that's rude. Sometimes I can't help that, but a lot of times I try to think, what's wrong? What problems does that person have? Why are they hurting so badly?
What? Yeah. What got you to this point?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're miserable.
But why?
But why?
Your
What
face
can we
isn't helping,
do?
but what other reason? I'm
What
just
can
kidding.
we do to help you? Yeah.
And I think that's what I got from you mainly was, what's wrong, Juju? Was yeah, just to basically that everybody is their own, their own person. There is no difference between people besides, like personality, the actual person. Like at the end of the day, it's still human. I don't know. You definitely solidified for me. Humans are humans, and that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And don't get me wrong. Like I said, you said I'm a little bit more accepting, and I think it's just because you have that some internalized stuff
Mm-hmm.
that I didn't get because you didn't pass it on. Because I mean, you weren't one to say all this shit around me, whatever. Like you weren't as
Well, because I was raised with racist people telling me to be racist.
right.
They were trying to tell me, my brothers, because
Another break. We had to get some food because we were hungry. No, the thing died this time. I get a bigger chip, so it has more storage. I get a charger so it don't die. But anyway, we're here. It's working. We'll do the last till it dies again, and then we'll call it this time now.
okay.
Talking about your brothers in prison when you were younger, but just telling you things in prison, right?
Yeah, they were. I had my brothers in and out of prison, and I actually have my brother one brother that's still in there
In there.
for life, but hopefully he gets out. But he has he was sentenced to life in prison. But anyway, they were in and out of jail. So their being in jail, in prison, they make people be racist in there.
Well,
And
it's
they-
not that they make it. It's just, well, I guess, yeah, they kind of make it.
They
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Because I heard that when you go to jail, they make you choose what gang you're in. They make you choose a gang.
Yes and no. It's more like you either choose one or you get bullied. You can
the
try to stay out
police-
of the way.
The police
but
actually have you clean.
I'm sure back then, whatever.
Well, maybe back then.
Now,
Maybe
they
not.
don't.
I haven't talked to anybody who's been in jail lately.
I bet. Plus, your only experience comes from ex-gangbangers.
Yeah.
So
But they make you. Well, anyway, the
when you're
thing is,
when you're a gangbanger, yes, as soon as you go in, you have to tell which gang you're in.
okay, what if you're not an ex?
If you're not anything, then you don't have to do anything until
Well,
someone
I don't
until you
know.
cause problems.
I don't think so. I don't think so. It was different.
Okay,
back then.
Miss.
Okay, I
so
gotta
much,
ask.
so much
I
experience
gotta
from her
ask because
personal.
all I know is from gangsters.
Yeah, you have a lot of personal experience.
Okay, so anyway, so them being in and out of jail, them being product of being in jail, they would come and try to bring their mentality over there to us.
Right.
And we were talking about people being racist, how they're racist and they're in jail.
Mm.
And they would try to bring it out to us and try to tell us, you better not do this, you better not talk to these people, da, da, da. And, you know, I just fought
funny.
against that.
Which is funny because obviously, like Davi, now being a big old Christian, you know, all about the Bible, right? Or maybe not now, but back then, you know, when I was younger, he was about Christianity. He was like, I don't think Christianity is preaching these things, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just funny.
Tio Tavi was a Christian for a very short time. He was selling drugs and in and out of jail. He became a Christian. He stopped for about a year, I'm thinking only.
Not bad.
And then he went back and continued full
The Lord,
blast.
because the Lord told you. The Lord
He
said you
continued
must.
full blast.
The Lord said you must walk the darkest path.
But anyway, they used to come and try to tell us, you know, their gangster mentality.
Right.
So anyway.
Oh, I know.
But-
You had a tattoo.
Yeah, I had a tattoo in 5th grade.
5th grade, her brother was like, you know what? I think I want to practice. Yeah. And you think that they're good accounts.
Yeah, I had a little tattoo right here on my hand.
She got it removed, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's weird.
Yeah. Plus, like I said, I think things change. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong. I'm sure maybe that's how it kind of was back then.
Mm-hmm.
But
I gotta.
ask
Okay,
him,
that's
you
something
know?
to find out. Like we always say, if you don't know, find out. So I'm gonna go find out if they still make people.
You can ask
declare.
somebody.
I will. That's where I got it from. Somebody just told me they do.
That one?
Mm-hmm.
Ah, mentira. Which one was he in?
I don't know. Paisas. They said he went with Paisas.
Yeah, whatever.
Anyway. Yeah, so you fight against these things like we're talking about people fighting against, sometimes they try to influence you to be one way and you kind of like say, no, that's not correct. And you stand up for it and you say, let me go this other route.
Yeah.
And I know you've done with some of the things that I've taught you that have been wrong too, because I'm not claiming to be perfect. You yourself fought maybe against some things that I brought you up with, maybe?
Maybe. I mean, you haven't really. I don't think you really showed me much in terms of like things that were controversial. Like it never got to a point where you were very against certain things. I don't know. Like it's not like
I'm against smoking marijuana.
here is one issue where we differ. But no, I just mean like you never had malice or hate in your heart. And that's, I think, what usually starts these conversations of you know, where they get it from.
Yeah.
Their parents have some kind of something in their heart that's just a little bit off,
Mm-hmm.
and that ends up copying onto their children, you know,
Yeah.
like, onto their heart. And I think with you didn't have that in your heart. So what I got copied was just the love part,
Mm-hmm.
and so
Cool.
I appreciate
I'm
that.
glad.
Appreciate that. And now I don't want I don't want to go on too long because this thing might be done in the next, I don't know, let me see. Yeah. Probably got like 10% left.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's what it is. I need to get a charger so I can
We've been
keep
talking
it
for a
plugged
long
in.
time anyway, so yeah.
Kind of, yeah. Maybe a little bit over an hour.
Oh.
I talk. I'm a talker.
Yes, you are.
I talk too much.
And I'm a listener, but now I've been talking a lot today.
You did talk a lot. I
Mhm.
appreciate that.
You're welcome.
You are the first woman on this.
Wow, I'm a pioneer in this show.
It was only meant to be, you know. So yeah, it was good. I definitely wanted to do this because I'm leaving soon. I don't know when, but I'm gonna get the trailer, and I'm gonna be on the road. So I don't know. I just figured let the people know why I'm so fucked up. At least half fucked up.
Hmm.
Just kidding.
Why are you?
I don't know. You're half the reason.
Don't blame me.
I do.
I
Only
know.
50%. Nah, but yeah, I don't know. We never really talked
Mhm.
like that. So it was cool.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is cool.
Well,
I hope it goes well for you.
thank
And you
you.
meet a lot of interesting people.
I do too. I mean, that's the goal, obviously, right?
Yeah.
That's the hope. That's the dream.
Mm-hmm.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah. Take
Which
care
is
of
why
yourself.
you're here.
And take care of yourself.
I will.
Try not to travel alone.
I will try not to. I can't make any promises. I don't know who's going to be tagging along.
Good.
If anybody does, I don't know.
Alrighty.
But hopefully I make friends on the way so it's not a lonely road.
Okay. You have my blessings.
I'm glad to be blessed. Well, that was my mother. The best one on earth. If you think otherwise, fuck you. What? Sorry. She doesn't like profanity. If you think otherwise, you're wrong. But other than that, it's a good episode. Now you know a little bit more about my family and where I come from. And hopefully, helps you go and connect with your family and maybe ask some questions that you wanted to know. Anything you want to say to the people?
No.
Okay.
Love.
Fucking hippie. All right. Well, thank you for watching. If you did, if you made it this far. If not, you didn't hear this. So, all right. Have a good one.